Got a question. What made you get into the law library?
Fighting for my life. That's what made it, because there wasn't no other way out for me.
Right. When you knew that situation you got yourself in was a serious one.
When my lawyer started telling me when I was on the street to study my case no matter what happened. The dude Joe Diaz, the late Joe Diaz, that was my lawyer for years. And got me out of everything. I wasn't even going to prison in the state no more. Got me out of everything. Good. He was a good lawyer. But what happened when I caught that federal case, he started getting scared. He the one had me hire the dude John May.
Okay.
He the one hired the dude John May. He the one had me hire him. Because he like, look, Andre, this federal stuff is different. State, I know like the back of my hand. We need a federal specialist. So he the one, when I had a buddy from Miami that knew John May personally. So I was finna try to get Roy Black. I was finna hire Roy Black. So my friend was like, no, man, I got a dude just as good. He probably even better. And I could get him for less money. And I know him. I could call him right at the house. So I say, okay. It was like on a weekend. I never forget. He called him. So when he called him, we talking on the phone. And the guy said, listen, I tell you what. Let me get the lawyer number. So I put him on, we got on the three-way. So the lawyer tell him, hey, Diaz tell him he could use his office. So John May tell me, hey, man, Monday morning I'll be there. I'll be to the office. So when I come in Monday morning, the first thing he do, he hand me his resume. He don't do no talking. He hand me his resume. And that's what I see guys today, they don't do when they hiring attorneys and stuff. You going on these names and stuff, and you hire an attorney, and he don't got the expertise in that case. The man came right and hand me his resume.
Right.
So we hire him, because at that time, but he know I hadn't been indicted. I was on bond on a complaint. But what I didn't know at that time, when the feds had lost the drugs, when they was trying to set me up, they had done Diaz struck a deal with them that night, an immunity deal, that if I returned the drugs, they weren't gonna charge me with nothing.
Because they done introduced drugs into the community.
Exactly. But the thing about it is, I never had talked to Diaz and told him I even had any drugs. So he struck the deal before I even had called him. So when I called him and tell him I think this guy tried to set me up, I was not sure what was going on because he owed me some money. So he was like, I know, they just want the drugs back. So when we meet him, I go and meet him and stuff, and he tell me, hey man, don't come to my office. They're looking for you. They got a hand warrant and everything. They're looking for you. So, okay, so a few days go out, meeting him, he talking to me, but he still never telling me about that deal he had struck. So what happened when I finally get caught, they took me to jail and they had my complaint. They had me on a conspiracy. And all this go come out later in my documentary. I got all my documents, I got all my paperwork, I got everything. They took me to court and they took me on a magistrate on a criminal complaint with a conspiracy. But the problem was, they had me with a conspiracy with no co-defendants. So Diaz go to the prosecutor and say, hold up, how you charging them with conspiracy with no co-defendants? So they say, okay, you're right. They scratched my charges out and charged me with possession with intent to distribute cocaine. So now when they doing the bump, so Diaz go up there, so the magistrate judge want to do a probable cause hearing, make the government put on the say if they got enough evidence to hold me, to see if they got enough evidence to hold me. So Diaz don't want to do the probable cause hearing. So the magistrate judge, he said, I thought we just going to do the bond hearing today and we'll do the probable cause later. So the magistrate's like, no, but he got a right to probable cause. So they insist, no, we just only want to do the bail. So the magistrate go, okay, well, y'all the lawyers, I'll let y'all do it. So what they do the bail hearing, I get bail and get out. So it wasn't until after I had got in the system and found out what had happened, Diaz couldn't do a probable cause hearing for me because he had already acknowledged that I had the dope.
Right.
So he could never argue against that because the government's going to say he already told us that he had it. He put me in possession of that dope. So that was one of the main reasons why he was trying to bring the attorney in, because he had a conflict.
Right.
And they knew he had a conflict, and everybody knew about the conflict except me. I'm in the blind. So what they do, they start still trying to be slick and try to capitalize off the conflict. So what they do, they continue to negotiate behind my back. I don't know nothing about negotiations, what's going on. Return the drugs. But at the time I'm out on bond, I'm still not indicted. I'm still not indicted yet because they don't really know how to charge me yet. They don't have no evidence against me. I don't have nothing.
Right.
Only thing they got is somebody saying that the drugs were delivered to me. But what happened, it was a sting operation. It was designed to go down in one place because everything was surveillance.
Right.
He left a surveillance spot, so now they never witnessed nothing. So now they don't know who got the drugs. They don't know where the drugs went because he was never supposed to leave the spot.
Right.
So now the case is all a mess. So so now is going on. So now they're still trying to figure out a way. They're still playing games. So what they do when they finally indict me, they send a plea agreement over. This I end up pleading guilty. They sent a plea agreement to Diaz and to John May and tell them that if I don't take this plea agreement in 10 days, if I don't sign this plea agreement, that they finna make both of them become a witness against me because they already done the knowledge that I got the dope.
Mm-hmm.
They never say nothing. That was an unwaverable conflict because now they should have never even been advising me no more.
Right.
Because all their advice is tainted because they're trying to prevent from having to testify against me.
Right.
For something I never told them anyways.
And still, they don't have no proof.
They was going to use the lawyer's word. They're going to put the lawyers on the stand against me if I went to trial. But what they was trying to do, they was trying to get rid of John May, get him off my case. And they were trying to get Diaz off my case. They were doing the same kind of game that they did with John Gotti. I hadn't seen that move pulled since John Gotti. When they said his lawyer was going to be a witness, so that's why he couldn't represent them.
Right.
So that's what they was doing. They were saying my lawyer's going to be a witness against me, so they couldn't represent me. He can't be a witness and represent you because during cross-examination, he can't cross-examine himself. So when they did it, John May immediately drafted up motions to get the whole case dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
But Diaz stopped him from filing them. I don't know this. I don't know all this. So when I get in prison and I get the 30 years, so I'm like, hey man, send me all my paperwork, man. I'm finna fight my own case. And man, just send me my paperwork. But I never forget one thing he had always told me before I even went in there. He was like, hey, I don't care what that guy John May tell you. I don't care how good he is. He said, Andre, you study your case. Because I used to study law with him. I knew a little bit of law from on the streets because he used to take me in the court in the state and make me sit in trials and watch trials and show me where they won and lost trials and stuff at. Make me watch how law works. So I knew that a little bit. So he told me that. So I never forget one day we in the car and he tell me like, he said, man, Andre, he said, man, you know what? He said, man, 5 years you might wake up and you be like, Joe, that motherfucker. He said, but then 5 years you may wake up and say, Joe, that motherfucking Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But he talking in riddles, but he never telling me what he was saying. But all the while, in my mind, what I think he was doing, he was setting the case up for me to win it. So when I asked for all my paperwork, I see the paperwork, all the motions, everything in there. I never knew nothing about this. That's how I found out the whole case. Everything in there. The letters where the prosecutor threatened them and everything. I got the letters. I got everything that never went to the court. It's all in the file. I got the government documents.
Mm-hmm.
Where they telling them, hey, if I don't take the plea, they go to do all this thing. They go hit me with crack. They go to hit me with a new conspiracy indictment. They go to hit me with the 851. And they go to hit me with obstruction of justice. All the threats in the paperwork. So now I'm reading it. John May write the motion showing, hey man, hold up, man. They the ones initiated plea negotiation and try to tell us if he don't take the plea, they finna make us become a witness against him. He like, this is the most outrageous incident of sandbag I done witnessed, and I combined 40 years of practice.
Right.
That's how bizarre that stuff was. But they never told the court. Nobody never said nothing to the court.
Yeah, they withhold that from the court.
They withhold it from the court. Because once the court would have got whiff of that, it was a thing, it's called a Garcia hearing. They was going to have to bring me in and advise me of the dangers that I'm in by proceeding with either one of them now.
Right.
They denied me that. They denied me my rights. They denied me all my rights. So I'm just waiting because, you know, that one right, and I'm going to expose everybody on that right there.
Right.
Prosecutor knew that. Everybody knew that. All of them knew.
And it's so many other people they done did like that.
Yeah.
Just make up stories.
Yeah.
Have all type of fabrication.
Yeah.
And just taking dudes
and
off
and,
the
and, and it wasn't even about that because everybody got due process. As American citizens, you got due process rights under the United States Constitution. I had my rights. I don't care how guilty you felt that I am. I had my rights. And y'all took my rights away.
Right.
Because y'all made me proceed with a conflicted attorney.
Right.
Once you went to that attorney and the prosecutor knew that once you pitched that idea to him, he's supposed to never represent me again.
Right. They talking behind your back.
Right.
They got you in the courtroom.
Right.
That's not fair.
Right. But the thing about it is, you got him to make a decision on my life.
Right.
That you controlling. That if he don't do it, he got to become a witness against me. You holding him over the barrel without giving me the opportunity to know if this is something I want to do. So now the lawyer, he tainted because now he coming at me biasly to take this plea.
Right.
Convincing me this plea is in my best interest when it's not. The plea is in your best interest, not my best interest.
Right.
And once they was tainted, I should have never been representing them by them no more. And they got rules under the American Bar Association that the prosecutor never supposed to indulge in stuff like that. He don't supposed to indulge in something that he knows is going to create a conflict. That's under the American Bar Association. That's under the rules.
Yeah, but a lot of them prosecutors, especially the ones with dealing with them drug cases, they just were trying to make names for themselves.
Yeah, because they capitalizing off our lack of education.
Right.
Because they know the average dude that come in there, he uneducated. I came in, I didn't have a GED.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to come in here and figure this stuff out. I don't even have a GED. They know we literate to this stuff, and all these terms that y'all use and stuff like that. They know the average guy don't know that stuff.
Right.
And that's where your cases got to be won. Dudes don't know. I tell them, you get in these trouble, man. Your case is won and lost at pre-trial stages. You have to get on that stuff from the beginning. If you don't get on that stuff from the beginning, it's gonna get out of snowball out of here. It's gonna be too late.
Mm-hmm.
White people, what they do? They fight their stuff from the beginning.
From the beginning. They challenging everything.
They challenging everything. Everything is challengeable. Everything is challengeable. You see what they doing in Trump and Georgia. He said everything challengeable. They throwing everything against the wall. They just trying anything.
Right.
It show you.
Yeah.
It show you.
That courtroom ain't fair. A lot of people don't understand that.
And it's two different systems. I got a buddy Rat who was in prison. And we had a guy in there, white dude coming there, white collar crime. And dude pleading his case because they knew I knew law. So they all come to me. I don't care what they was. Motorcycle gang, Spanish cartels, drug lords, all of them come to me. They respected me. They come to me because they know I'm going to keep the blood raw. I'm going to give you something the lawyer ain't going to give you. I'm going to keep it raw and tell you how it is. If you got something, you got something. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to waste my time. I don't care how much money you got. I can't be bought, man. My integrity can't be bought. So anyway, the guy, he was coming, he was pleading his case. And he was like, man, I didn't do anything. And he going on. And my dog Rat, he told me. Rat, we said that he let him finish. So Rat told the dude, he said, man, you did something, man. He said, man, you did something, man. He said, man, you know how hard it is to lock a white man up? Especially ones who got some money to pay for a defense. And what he said, he never lied. He never lied. When he told him that, and then when he tell him, he say, now stop me when I'm lying now. He said, just stop me when I'm lying. But that was my dog. But he said a lot of stuff, and that's what he told me, man. He said, man, everything that you know, when you go back out there, man, stop being a victim of the law and be a beneficiary of it.
Right.
Because guess what? White people be a beneficiary of the law every day.
They damn sure do.
They be a beneficiary of the law every day just on their skin color.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he say, man. You know that stuff, and that's what it is, man.
Right.